Aquarius, welcome to your end of November 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Just a few astrological transits are occurring that I think are significant. The stationing direct of Mars on November 13th is important because Mars is a personal planet and it is in Aries. It's in the sign of Aries. So for you, this is the third house of communication and training and your siblings. You may have had some kind of thing where you had to bite your tongue. You couldn't really express some sort of anger or conflict that involves it's also the house of neighbors and things like that. Maybe you've been wanting to get a certain training and you haven't been able to, and you've been chomping at the bit, or you've had writer's block. The third house can be writing, other forms of communication. And so it just in general for all of us, when Mars goes direct, we may notice that things are progressing instead of kind of staying stagnant. And then we have this, what you could call a portal, or this opening time between mid-November and the end of January of 2021, where we have the opportunity to push new projects forward. All the personal planets are direct. And of course, you can, push your projects direct at other times, but it's just to let you know, if you have tried to do things and it hasn't worked out, that you might have a more favorable time. So the other things that are happening is we have a new moon in Scorpio, the 14th or the 15th of November, depending on where you live. This is at 23 degrees of Scorpio. And for Aquarius, because Scorpio is a fellow fixed sign, it's going to fall in an angular house. In this case, theoretically, in reality, your chart might be a bit different from what I'm saying. But in general, we could say that Scorpio is your fourth house. Your 10th house of career. And so a new moon here could be some kind of new developments, new seeds being planted in the area of career aspirations, progression. And then on November 30th, there is a lunar eclipse at 8 degrees of Gemini, and this is your fellow air sign, Gemini is, and therefore it forms a trine to you, so it's a very favorable angle, and this is in a very fun area, the fifth house, which is a house of fun, the house of creativity, children, love, the business that you own. And so the lunar eclipse, if you have started a business, and again, with all these retrogrades, if you have started a business in the last few months, you may have not gotten the kind of, the same level of progression or progress. You may not have made the same advancements that you would had you launched right now. So there might be a relaunch. There might be some tweaking that you do, and then you can, pretend that never happened and use this time period for launching things. Although this is a lunar eclipse, so what I'm trying to say is that this is a time when you finally see the fruits of your efforts. So if it's been delayed, then it comes in a deluge. The fifth house being love, and the lunar eclipse can be like this realization that maybe it's finally sunk in that somebody around you is your soulmate, the perfect partner for you. I think when I said soulmate, it was 444, which is pretty auspicious. So anyway, it could be something like that. If you're creative, that could be very good for creativity. Lots of ideas. Okay. Now I see here the way I have this set up, but I'm just going to leave it as is because it's just too much. I just don't want it to. It's funny that maybe I can try a little bit. There you can see a little bit those cards that are at the bottom. It's interesting. The last 3 cards I picked were Major Arcana cards. The first 3 were more of the day-to-day with the Minor Arcana. So we have as the heart of the matter, the 3 of Pentacles. Maybe you're plugging away at your dream, trying to build the Architect's card, trying to build your life step by step, stone by stone. This is also a great card for working in tandem with others in a positive way. It's in the upright position in a constructive way. This can be a card of, I believe, having a child. I can't remember, I think they said in my book 1 + 1 = 3, it's the number of creation. So definitely, as I stated before with that 5th house connection, people who are creating something, whether it's their own business, an artistic endeavor, they could be making money from it. This is a good money card. The number 3 is a number of abundance. If you think of the Major Arcana and you think of number 3, it's the Empress, which is connected to Venus, and Venus is connected to money. So that idea of having abundance around you, but there's an effort that you're making. You're not just sitting there eating bonbons. You're actually working. You might be working, playing well with others in some cases. In the past position, we have the Page of Pentacles, receiving money or receiving a message about money, maybe some kind of communication. I'm trying to think. I was thinking of an inheritance. This is not necessarily connected to inheritance. It can be receiving a small amount of money. Let me think here. Yeah, I can't think of anything in particular that would indicate that. But if you have been dealing with that, for some reason I was also thinking about your siblings, because this is an area that is getting hit when you have, oh yeah, and the sun is going into Sagittarius. That's another thing that is happening. But I was thinking specifically about the Mars aspect with, if you're having any kind of conflict with siblings, it could be some kind of a money thing. And there's been some with the pages. I've been getting pages in these readings, but Mercury has just recently gone direct earlier in November, and that might indicate that things are getting back up to speed with communications. Because I have here, and this is why I was kind of wondering, I have here the 9 of Wands, and this is a spiritual message, and this is about having boundaries. So if you have some kind of ongoing conflict with siblings, for instance, and maybe, like money tends to be one of the things that gets people going, but it can be, it can be just about anything. But the thing is that you have to be the one to lay down boundaries. You can't just expect that other people are going to respect your boundaries. Sometimes people test them, and you have to be the one. And I would say, too, that, perhaps with the 3 of Pentacles, there might even be issues with some people involving, being caught between 2 other people. And perhaps this is related to money as well, where you're the go-between, or there's just like 2 on 1, who knows, like 3's a crowd type of thing. But these are, I have to, reiterate that the 3 of Pentacles is a positive card, and so is the Page of Pentacles. This can be like a new endeavor of yours, a new job or a new business that you have started. I guess with the Nine of Wands, it's also about like having those boundaries, especially as an Aquarius. If you have planets in Pisces, the moon, or you definitely could have Venus, Mercury, Venus, or Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces, you may have very porous boundaries, and it may be hard for you to stick to your guns. And when you have your own business, you have to, because people will try to take advantage and things like that. So there might be something going on with that, where people they want something for free, because I think those of us who have done tarot and astrology know about that. I haven't gotten many of those lately, but I used to a lot. And I think I did a few, actually, because, this is a special kind of type of work that, you can't be too materialistic about. That's for sure. You have to take people's needs into account, too. What crosses you as a hermit, yeah, that hermit needs to be painted in a little bit because it's starting to peel. So this is about turning your back on your intuition, your spiritual side, maybe putting too much emphasis on the material. This could be an earth sign, specifically a Virgo person who is not a person who is adding to your life in a good way. And maybe this is a person you have to be very careful about allowing too much leeway into your personal life. But definitely spurning wisdom, not listening to that gut instinct. And because we have a couple of pentacles up there, it could be like related to money or job issues. And, there always has to be like a balance, in my opinion, between, no matter what you're doing, you always have to look at the spiritual impact, whether it's the type of work that you're doing, what it's taking out of you, and these kinds of things, and not just ignoring the impact. So what's coming in is a Wheel of Fortune. What a wonderful card. I think, this situation with the new moon in your 10th house, that could be definitely what is giving you that sense of alignment, which is how I see. Of course, and the Wheel of Fortune is connected to Jupiter. And you're also going to have Jupiter in your sign come December, Aquarius. So that's another possibility in terms of the future of having Jupiter in your sign, having it give you a sense of, feeling that you're lucky in general, a new cycle of Jupiter starting in your first house. That could be it as well. If you have felt the sense of like, with the Hermit, this is the 12th house and where Jupiter is right now for you. And you can still benefit even financially from Jupiter in the 12th house. I just put out a video about Jupiter transiting the 12th house. You may want to listen, even though very soon it's going to be in your first house. But depending on what your degree of sun or rising, it might be a while before it goes into that first house. So you might have time to still have Jupiter in the 12th benefit you in some way. And it's kind of a karmic, like a good luck type of a charm. And, past life karma being rewarded, who knows. But also just in general, the Wheel of Fortune is about alignment. And it means that whatever it is that you're doing, if you've started your own business, for instance, that you have this sense that you're progressing, especially as Mars goes direct, you may feel this sense of momentum take over and feel like everything is starting to gel. And by the end of the month, see how that lunar eclipse affects that area, the fifth house for you. And the outcome is the Lover's card. This is connected to Gemini. So as a timing card, that lunar eclipse in Gemini in that fifth house, that can also bring love to you. But I think especially if it's somebody who might be a friend for Aquarius, friendship is very important. So it's possible that you have a platonic friend that you never even considered as a romantic possibility, and something occurs that makes you realize that this person, qualifies. I don't know how else to put it, but and that becomes a romantic interest in your life. So we have the Hermit, the three major arcana cards: the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Lover's card. And it's like perhaps if you have been isolated even yourself, that has worked against you. So maybe you have been withdrawing for reasons that are more emotional than spiritual. And you kind of misunderstood a past event that made you kind of retreat. But the Hermit in the upright position, because I'm reading it as a reverse card here, is about that kind of positive desire to commune with something greater than yourself. And it could simply be that you are too immersed in material concerns versus, the higher things in life. And now you are getting there. But I'm looking at it in terms of that Lover's card, and possibly a relationship with somebody and feeling that sense of intimacy that you've been, isolated for too long, and now you have aligned with more of an ideal partner. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a personal reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. If you love astrology, I do personal tarot readings as well. But you can check me out at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.